Point guard isn't just a position anymore. It's the steering wheel of the modern NBA. The best ones don't just call sets. They dictate tempo and decide whether your defense spends the fourth quarter in rotation. So, who's really running the league from the one right now? Today, we're ranking the current top 5 starting point guards in the NBA. 5 very different engines, each with a unique way to dominate. Let's get to it. Number 5. Trae Young. Trae Young doesn't just stretch a defense, he stretches its nerves. Few players in the league change your pickup point the second they cross half court, but his off-the-bounce range forces bigs to creep to 28 feet and still feel late. That alone is a tax. Once your center steps up, the back line is in triage, and the lob to the dunker spot turns into an ATM. What makes Trae different from other long-range gunners is the control he layers on top of the fireworks. He lives in spread pick and roll, toggling between the 28-foot pull, the pocket dart, and that feathered floater that seems to stop on the front rim and fall in out of respect. He doesn't need the lane to be wide open to manipulate it. He manufactures windows with pace changes and tempo tricks. Early in games, he'll test your coverage like a safecracker. Hard reject, snake, pause, then a left-hand scoop to freeze the help. If you switch to take away the lob, he walks your big out to the deep elbow and punishes the mismatch with step-backs that feel unfair. If you trap, his release valves are trained. Corner shooters stationed 2 passes away, short roll partners who can make the 4-on-3 read. It's not just Trae Hunt's numbers, it's that his team's shot quality inflates because of his shot threat. The counter-arguments are familiar: size at the point of attack and occasional off-ball lapses. Those are real, and they demand scheme help. Top-locking the first pass, tagging early, and letting a switchable forward take the toughest cover. But that's the bargain teams make for elite creation. In close games, his audacity becomes a weapon. You know the shot is coming. You still leap a half beat late. The ball is already on the way down through the net. Atlanta's ceiling rises and falls with how often those pull-ups go from bad idea to inevitable math. And right now, the blend of vision and range keeps him planted in the 5. Number 4. Jalen Brunson. Brunson doesn't sprint through your defense. He parks a scalpel at the free throw line and starts carving. Every pivot is a question. Every shoulder fake a trap. He's one of the best players alive at maintaining advantage without inviting chaos. No one is calmer at 12 feet with the dribble alive. The early line this year has him near 28 points and 6 assists on tidy efficiency. And the shot diet is pure craft. Jab step middies, footwork-heavy paint finishes, and just enough pull-up threes to keep the back pedal honest. The Knicks' spacing ecosystem is built for Brunson's cadence. Staggered screens into empty corner pick and roll give him the middle. If you ice, he'll snake and plant. If you drop, he'll float that push shot from 8. Switch, and he'll walk your big into a foul with shoulder leverage. Where he's grown most is anticipation. He now throws the pass before the wing tags, trusting that his gravity will move the help. That's point guard vision, not scoring guard who passes. Defensively, length can bother him at the nail, and huge wings can shoot over him late clock. But Brunson fights. He'll peel in to dig at the nail on the low post and scoot back to his man before the kick, and the Knicks' backline rotates behind that scrappiness. The more pressing playoff question is whether he can keep drawing fouls when whistles get stingier. The counter has been hitting the pull-up 3 earlier in games, so that, in the 4th, defenders are less ready to jump into his chest on the mid-range step-through. When the game slows down, the benefit of Brunson's style is predictability. For his team, not the defense. Every possession looks similar, but the read is always different. One time it's a pocket pass, next time it's a footwork fake into a banker, then it's a hit ahead when helpers creep in a step too far. If New York's shooting holds, his blend of stability and timely bursts is exactly the formula that travels into a road Game 7. Number 3. Stephen Curry. Defenses are still terrified of Steph. That alone is a skill. His raw early numbers, hovering around 27 points per game, only tell a fraction of the story, because his true value is everything that breaks before he touches the ball. Top locking him is standard now, so the Warriors pre-solve with exit screens and wide pin downs from deeper angles, letting him blaze into space without needing a dribble. Give him even one careless handoff exchange, and the possession is already cooked. What remains special is the conditioning. Curry treats a 24-second clock like a treadmill. The third cut in a single possession often creates the shot, and it's demoralizing. He still punishes any big who backpedals to the dotted line. The sidestep 3 is as repeatable as a free throw for him, and he hasn't lost the head-tilting audacity. Pull-ups from the logo in semi-transition, one-leg runners from the right slot, split cuts into corner relocations where the pass arrives exactly as he plants. That cocktail forces defenses into gimmick coverages, box and one flashes, triangle and two pockets, that drag them away from their base rules. Critics will ask about defense and physicality. He's never been a switch killer stopper, and big wings can pound out space. But Golden State continues to hide him creatively, tagging in the lane and releasing, and Curry competes. More importantly, the offensive gravity he creates is defense. When opponents have to play small or extend their best defender to the perimeter, their offense suffers in the trade. In late-game situations, he's still the most feared shooter in the world, not because of raw percentage, but because of volume from absurd difficulty, without a dip in efficiency. No one bends the scheme harder in 14 seconds. The off-ball masterpiece hasn't faded, it's just become smarter, and so long as that's true, he lives in the top 3. Number 2. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Shai plays like a whisper that turns into a shout. The first 2 steps are slow-fast. His dribble sits low like a snake, and then snap. He's past your hip with the ball protected and the shot already chosen. He was the league's MVP last season and looks intent on defending that crown. The Thunder opened 7-0 again, and Shai dropped another string of 30s while extending a 20-plus point streak that ties names you only see in record books. That's not heat check stuff. That's a superstar sustaining the exact same pressure every night. What makes Shai different is control without threes. Yes, he can hit them, and the rate is ticking up, but he doesn't need to live out there to bend you. He lives in that 5 to 14-foot range, where almost no one is comfortable. Floaters, push shots, quick-release middies, scoop finishes off 2 feet. His rim attacks don't look explosive on film, yet defenders are forever half-step late because his gather is deceptive and his body angles are elite. Add the foul drawing. He's a master of shoulder-in, ball-out positioning, and you get a possession-by-possession bleed. Defensively, he's the rare superstar who can tilt a game without scoring. Watch fourth quarters. Hands in passing lanes, length-bothering pull-ups at the nail, rear-view contests that erase what looked open. OKC leverages that with long wings and a smart big behind him. Shai's digs at the nail are timed so well that even if you kick to the corner, your shooter catches into a closeout and a worse decision. That's how a scoring guard becomes a closer on both ends. The endgame signature is ruthless. He'll snake pick and roll into the dotted line, give a subtle shoulder fake, and the big either swipes air or fouls. Next trip, same action, but the weak side defender cheats a step, kick out 3, come back down. No screen this time. He isolates, hesitates between the legs, and slides into a 12-footer before help can load. It's a slow burn suffocation, and it's why he tops this list. Number 1, Luka Doncic. If Curry is a gravity well, Luka is a metronome. Every possession ticks at his pace. The trade that dropped him into Los Angeles reshaped the entire league, and the summer extension confirmed the Lakers are building their next era around his cadence. Since the move, the on-court story has been the same one we've come to expect. Mismatches hunted like prey, deep-range step-backs coming out as casually as layups, and a pass menu that includes every angle on the floor. With the ball, he plays chess. Without it, he's improved at opportunistic cuts to keep weak-side defenders honest. The Lakers maximize him by forcing the weak-side low man to choose between a corner shooter and a dunker spot lob. High-flat screens with a shooter in the strong side corner are particularly evil. Tag from the corner, he dots the pass. Stay home, you get the slow-motion drive where he keeps his defender on his hip for 8 feet before finishing with either hand. The genius isn't just what he sees, it's how long he's willing to wait. He'll pause mid-paint, freeze help for half a beat, then fire the pass when a fingertip drifts. Physically, the critiques have been conditioning optics and help rotations, but even a neutral Luka on defense can be schemed around when his offense is this oppressive, and he has taken more pride in situational contests, digging down on post-ups, than sprinting to the wing to show and recover. What never changes is the scoreboard pressure. A classic Luka endgame looks like this: 2 straight step-backs over a switch, then a drive that draws a second defender early and sets up the dagger corner 3. It's not glamorous until you realize you're down 9. The early returns with his new roster continue to justify the hype. The Lakers' half-court offense stabilizes because he nukes empty possessions, and his presence turns role players into 40% corner shooters by sheer diet of clean looks. If you don't send a second defender, he'll average a 30-point triple-double for the week. If you do, he'll spin you into rotations your bigs can't cover. Teams pick their poison and get sick either way. All right, your turn. Which point guard would you trust to run one last possession with your season on the line? Speed. Drop your pick and why in the comments. And if you're into superstar connections, cue up our next video. Every Hall of Fame teammate LeBron has played with. It's a perfect follow-up if you want to keep the hoops brain buzzing.